and welcome to Rauta's Reviews. Today's band is a band called Taiga, which means boreal forest or snow forest. That is one of the biggest biomes in the world, and that's it's kind of a fitting name for a band coming from Russia, and not exactly any part of Russia, but the part that is known as Siberia. So this two-man band is coming from there, and this is the 2017 release, Cosmos. Here, being one of those albums from my backlog, I'm gonna tell you a little bit of the band and then show you the Metal Archives site as well as talk about the album itself. There's basically one man who is the main guy of the band, Nikolai Seredov, who is doing most of the instruments here, and then Alexei Korolov, who does keyboards. Now, curious enough, Mr. Korolov is also the same guy who owns Satanath Records, Grim Distribution, and this label that has put out this album as well, called Symbol of Domination. I don't know, well, technically speaking, I don't know if he owns them, but he runs them, so I'm just assuming things here. So he's playing keyboards here, and the rest are done by Mr. Seredov mentioned here. Guess it's kind of a done deal. One guy runs the label and does the keyboards, and the other guy, well, does the music and stuff like that. These things then go hand in hand, maybe that's the right word. Anyhow, that's how they kind of end up doing this stuff, and the rest is history, as the saying goes. Now, the history of Taiga goes all the way to 2013 and now has a few albums out, as well as many singles and other smaller releases, EPs, as you can probably see here. Right now, anyway, you should see if you didn't see it first. Anyway, Cosmos is the latest album, 2017, and there are now a couple of more singles to be already released, at least on the Bandcamp page by Mr. Seredov. As you can see, he has other bands such as Funeral Tears and then some of with Cyrillic letters, that is Russian names, while Mr. Korolev runs band known as Abigorum, which I have reviewed earlier, kind of a synth-driven black metal. Anyway, we're here talking about this album, Cosmos. It's 48 minutes in total, and all these, well, our titles are in Russian, so I have technically no idea what they mean. But here's mentioned that this is kind of a depressive black metal, with the concepts as depression, mental illness, and isolation. I can't prove that by myself because, like I said, all those lyrics are in Russian, and sometimes the information on Metal Archives is not the most accurate one. Sometimes people just, include information which is based on their assumptions rather than facts. So with this information, I can only have a vague understanding what this album might be about and all that stuff. But what matters is how the music sounds, and well, that is kind of a depressive or at least melancholic black metal. The first track is probably the weakest one, which is a curious choice because it doesn't really represent the style what is going on with Cosmos. First of all, it's kind of a more high tempo, and it's not really that kind of a depressive or atmospheric melancholic stuff as the rest of the album is. And in my opinion, it could have been well removed and the album at least wouldn't be any worse. Now the thing here is, even though it says percussions are done by Mr. Seredov, I can only imagine they're machine drums because the sound is very kind of a clinic kind of a style. I mean, clinical in nature. And to be honest, it's not too good. It's not ruining the album, but it's definitely taking something away from the atmosphere. Now, other than that, the rest of the production is also something that is not exactly helping, but rather hurting the music, because what this album would need is kind of either stronger or rawer production. Now it's somewhere in between, and it doesn't really do any good. What matters, obviously, even more than that, is how the guitar riffs are done and how is the atmosphere delivered to the audience. And in my opinion, I would say it's quite okay. It's not really great, but I would say with different kind of production, different kind of vocals, it could be actually quite good. Now it's like almost there, but not exactly worth a cigar, so to say. The vocals are another thing which kind of bother me because they're like high pitchy, not exactly screaming, but just kind of a howling, if you will, like a bad Burzum attempt. I mean, it's not annoying and it's not disturbing, but it's not really good either. It's like this band would need a new drummer and a new vocalist and maybe a little bit better sound overall, and it would be a lot better. Now, these keyboards, then again, actually create a nice layer in this music because they play a big part along with those guitars to create this melancholic, sad overall atmosphere. So a lot of things have been done right with this album, but those minor elements, of which are many, then again kind of try to ruin it. So I'm a little bit divided. On the other hand, I kind of like it, and on the other hand, this feels like a demo which is just way too lengthy for its own good. Definitely worth checking out, though, if you are into kind of a melancholic, depressive, suicidal black metal. But if you want rawness and violence or some kind of strong satanic appearance on the album, definitely not your cup of tea. This is for the selected marginal audience only. And even with that, some things might be too far away from what you are going after. Anyway, interesting project with Taiga, and I hope that it will be appearing in the future soon, just with things fixed. Anyway, go check it out on the Bandcamp page. It's already mentioned in the description box, so do what you will. Maybe you will like it, maybe you won't. It's up to you. See ya, and bye-bye.